Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, reaching for your phone, and realizing your bank account quietly grew while you slept. No alarm clock, no rush hour traffic, no boss. Just absolute, undeniable freedom. But what if I told you that for most people, this remains nothing more than a fantasy? And it is not because they lack intelligence, and it is certainly not because they don't work hard enough. It is because they are trapped in a system systematically designed to keep them trading their precious, limited time for a paycheck. We are taught from a very young age to trade hours for dollars. You give up the best years of your life, the best hours of your day, sitting under fluorescent lights, building someone else's dream, all for a piece of paper that barely covers your cost of living. It is a modern-day treadmill, and it is exhausting. But there is a way off. Today, in this explainer, we are going to deeply analyze the source material and unpack the 7 secrets of passive income. These aren't just clever tricks. These are the foundational strategies that the wealthiest minds in the world use to completely rewrite their financial destinies. They use these secrets to turn their money into their hardest working, most relentless employee.
Before we go any further, I need you to pause and really feel the emotional weight of this question. Seriously, ask yourself right now, what happens if your income completely stops tomorrow? Just imagine it. You walk into work and you're handed a cardboard box, or a sudden health crisis hits out of nowhere and you cannot get out of bed for 6 months. What happens next? Would your money still flow, or would your entire life grind to a terrifying, screeching halt? This is the stark, deeply emotional reality of relying on a single paycheck. The anxiety that keeps millions of people awake at night staring at the ceiling isn't just about paying for groceries. It's about survival. The bills, they do not care that you lost your job. The mortgage company doesn't hit pause on your life. Your family's needs do not magically disappear. You see, the greatest financial stress a human being can experience doesn't actually come from a lack of money. It comes from the immense, crushing vulnerability of having only one single door through which that money enters your life. When that one door closes, you are left out in the cold. Understanding this vulnerability is your very first step toward true wealth.
The source material we are exploring highlights a brilliant, almost painful scenario that perfectly captures the fork in the road of your financial life. I want you to picture 2 friends. They work at the exact same company, they earn the exact same modest salary, and they drive the same route home. But their futures are worlds apart. Why? Because of their mindset. The average earner gets that paycheck on Friday and immediately seeks temporary comfort. They buy the newest smartphone they don't need, they upgrade their car to impress people they don't even like, and they accumulate liabilities disguised as assets. They are trapped in a cycle of looking rich rather than actually being rich. But the smart wealth builder, they do something radical, something that looks crazy to the outside world. They save, they invest, they systematically build self-sustaining assets, and they practice extreme delayed gratification. Fast forward 5, maybe 10 years, the average earner is still desperately, anxiously waiting for the end of the month, completely trapped by the golden handcuffs of their lifestyle. But the smart wealth builder has quietly, patiently constructed an invisible machine, a machine that pays them whether they clock in or not. The difference between these 2 friends was never their paycheck. It was always their choices.
And that brings us to a quote that should echo in your mind every single time you make a financial decision. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Read that again. Let it sink in. Warren Buffett built a multi-billion-dollar empire on this exact premise. This isn't just a clever saying to put on a motivational poster. It is a harsh, urgent financial survival tactic. Think about the people you see working grueling jobs in their 70s. Most of them aren't there because they want to stay busy. They are there because they never built a system to replace their physical labor. Building passive income is not a luxury reserved for the elite or the lucky. It is an absolute, non-negotiable necessity if you ever want to truly own your time and your dignity. You have to detach your ability to earn from your physical presence. But stay with me, because the biggest misconception about how to actually achieve this is yet to come, and it completely changes everything you thought you knew about wealth. So what is the crucial point here? We have to understand what passive income actually is. And just as importantly, we need to expose what it is not. The internet is absolutely flooded with scammers selling the illusion that passive income means free money with zero effort. They sell you the dream of sitting on a beach, hitting a button, and getting rich. The source material completely shatters this toxic myth. True passive income means front-loading your struggle. It means intense, exhausting, lonely, upfront work. It is the late nights at the kitchen table when everyone else is asleep. It is the discipline to keep building your system, writing that book, coding that software, creating that digital course, or meticulously researching that investment when you'd rather be doing literally anything else. You are building an engine from scratch, piece by piece. It is exhausting at first. You will want to quit. But once that engine is built and primed, it runs on its own. It generates revenue continuously without requiring your daily physical presence. You are not avoiding hard work. You are just brilliantly choosing to do the hard work once so it pays you forever. To get to that point, you have to win a psychological war that is being waged inside your own mind. Every single day, you are constantly presented with a choice. Instant gratification whispers to you, just swipe the credit card, buy it now, you deserve it, worry about the bill later. But as our explainer points out, temporary comfort almost always leads to permanent financial problems. The dopamine hit of that new purchase fades in a week, but the debt lingers for years. The alternative is the path less traveled, delayed gratification. It requires temporary discipline. It means saying no to the unnecessary upgrade today so you can buy your absolute freedom tomorrow. It means enduring the uncomfortable feeling of missing out in the short term. Every single time you are tempted to spend your hard-earned money on a liability, you must pause and ask yourself, will this purchase make me wealthy, or will it just give me 5 minutes of joy and a lifetime of stress? Breaking that mental barrier, that addiction to instant consumerism, is your very first necessary step to escaping the financial trap. So how do we actually put this incredible discipline into action? We look to the greatest equalizer in human history, the internet. You see, the internet can be a tool for endless distraction, a place where you waste hours scrolling, or it can be a 24/7 income machine. If you can solve a problem for someone, if you can educate them, entertain them, or make their life easier, the internet allows you to scale that solution globally. Look at the options the source provides. Digital products like ebooks or courses. You pour your soul into building them once, and they can be sold infinitely without any extra manufacturing cost. Then there's affiliate marketing, where you recommend trust-based products that you genuinely believe in and earn a commission for connecting a buyer to a solution. Or content creation, where your relentless consistency turns a blog or a YouTube channel into a powerful digital asset. In all these models, you are no longer selling your hours, you are selling your value, and your reach is absolutely limitless. But here is the secret ingredient, the absolute game changer that makes those online machines truly passive: the automation engine. Let's get real for a second. If you start an online business, but you have to manually wake up to process every single order, manually send every email, and personally deliver every product, you have not built a business. You have just created another stressful, underpaying job for yourself, and this time, your boss is you. True wealth builders use technology to shift their role from an overworked, exhausted employee to a true architect of wealth. Imagine this scenario. Someone on the other side of the world buys your ebook at 3 in the morning while you are deep in sleep. The payment processes instantly. The digital product is delivered flawlessly. The follow-up thank you email sends immediately, all automatically. Your system becomes your most reliable, tireless employee, one that never sleeps, never complains, and works around the clock to build your financial empire. Now let's shift gears and step into a foundational pillar of wealth that absolutely terrifies a lot of people: the stock market. So many people view the stock market as a giant casino, a rigged game where you gamble your savings and just pray to get lucky. But as our source material brilliantly reframes it, this couldn't be further from the truth. The stock market is simply a highly efficient mechanism for buying fractional ownership in real, growing, highly profitable businesses. When you buy a share of a reputable company, you are not buying a lottery ticket. You are acquiring a piece of human progress. You are buying a fraction of a company's future growth, their innovation, and their profits. Smart investors don't obsess over the daily red and green numbers on a price chart. They don't panic when the news cycle turns negative. They obsess over the underlying business. They understand that by holding those shares, thousands of the smartest employees in the world are waking up every day and working to make that company, and by extension the investor, wealthier. But what if you don't know which company to pick? What if you were terrified of choosing the wrong stock and losing it all? The solution provided in the source is brilliant in its absolute simplicity: the index fund. Instead of trying to aggressively find the needle in the haystack, you simply buy the whole haystack. An index fund elegantly distributes your hard-earned money across dozens or even hundreds of the top-performing companies in the economy. If one company struggles or completely fails, the others in the fund balance it out. It offers incredible, priceless peace of mind. You don't need to be glued to financial news networks all day. You don't need to try and predict the future or time the market perfectly. You just consistently, quietly invest your money, letting the combined economic engine of the world's best companies work relentlessly in your favor. It is wealth building stripped of its ego and its anxiety. And the magic ingredient to all of this, the one thing you cannot fake, borrow, or steal, it is just time. 30 years, to be exact.
We live in a society that demands instant results. We want the diet pill that works in a week. We want the crypto coin that doubles our money in a month. But real, unbreakable wealth is quiet. It is patient. It is incredibly methodical. When you invest consistently over 10, 20, or 30 years, you unlock the most staggering force in finance, the power of compounding. Let's look at the reality of the math. A simple $100 a month invested steadily over 30 years doesn't just return your $36,000 in principal. With average market returns, it can grow to over $150,000. Your initial investment starts generating returns, and then those returns start generating their own returns. It's a snowball rolling down a massive hill. The source explicitly notes that people who quit early during a market dip never get to see the magic. But those who maintain emotional discipline, who hold the line when it gets boring or scary, end up with results they couldn't have even imagined on day one.
If stocks are your quiet, compounding engine in the background, real estate is your double-engine wealth strategy. Now, we are not talking about buying a massive house for yourself based on emotions just because it has a nice view or a big backyard. That is an emotional purchase, often a liability. We are looking at real estate strictly as a dual-powered financial machine. Why double? Because a properly researched, strategically located investment property gives you two massive financial benefits at the exact same time. First, you get monthly cash flow from the rent paid by tenants, which acts as a steady stream of income. Second, you get long-term appreciation as the property's value naturally increases over time, and the tenant is effectively paying down your mortgage for you. It is one of the most robust, historically proven wealth generators in human history, creating more millionaires than almost any other asset class. Now, you might be sitting there thinking you need millions of dollars in cash to even start playing the real estate game. You don't. The source material outlines smart, accessible ways to participate regardless of your starting point. Yes, you have traditional rental properties for incredible cash flow, but if you lack capital right now, or if the idea of dealing with fixing leaky faucets at midnight terrifies you, you can invest in REITs, real estate investment trusts. These allow you to own fractional pieces of massive commercial real estate like malls or apartment buildings, just like buying a stock. Completely, entirely from your laptop. And if you do decide to buy physical property, the absolute key to keeping it a passive income stream is utilizing professional property management. You pay a small percentage to buy back your time and your sanity. You scale your wealth by letting the cash flow from your first property fund the down payment for your second, creating a massive, self-growing portfolio. But here is the exact moment where so many ambitious, intelligent people completely fail. They try to do everything at once. They get inspired, they start a YouTube channel, they try to buy rental property, and they start day trading stocks all in the exact same weekend. And by Monday morning, they are completely burnt out, overwhelmed, and right back where they started. The source material warns heavily against this trap. Wealth is not built in a frenzy. It is built layer by meticulous layer. Step 1. Master one single side hustle or one highly valuable skill. Put your blinders on and ignore everything else. Step 2. Systemize that skill so the income is stable and no longer requires 100% of your waking hours. Only then, once the foundation is solid, do you move to step 3, adding the next income stream. Focus creates massive growth. Rushing and distraction just create a chaotic mess. Build the foundation deep before you try to build the skyscraper. As you painstakingly build these layers of wealth, you must fiercely protect two things: your capital and your time. The world is full of predators waiting to take both. High-value, sustainable wealth lies in mastering skill-based work, earning royalties from creative assets you've built, or investing in strong, proven franchise models. On the flip side, the explainer explicitly cautions against the seductive trap of high-risk illusions. These are the get-rich-quick, multi-level marketing schemes, the unresearched trends, the crypto hype coins with absolutely no underlying utility. If an opportunity promises you massive, life-changing wealth overnight with no real product value, or if it relies solely on you recruiting your friends and family, you need to step back immediately. Always let deep research, logic, and extreme patience guide your investments, not hype, and certainly not the fear of missing out. As we pull all of these strategies together, the most crucial point we are arriving at is this profound question: what is all this money actually for? Imagine reaching the end of your journey. You've built the assets, you own the properties, you have the automated online machines. You are rich. But if you pass down millions of dollars to your children without passing down the financial wisdom and discipline it took to build it, that wealth will completely evaporate in a single generation. It will become a curse rather than a blessing. True wealth builders understand that they are creating a lasting legacy. They prioritize financial education for their kids around the dinner table. They execute proper, meticulous estate planning. They lead by example, demonstrating unwavering discipline and integrity. And most importantly, they realize that money is energy, and they use their wealth to give back to society, lifting up those who are still struggling. Your money isn't just a scoreboard of how successful you are, it is a powerful tool to elevate the entire world around you.
Ultimately, our deep dive into this explainer today reveals one beautiful, absolute truth. Financial freedom is not a destination. It is not some magical, mythical finish line in the future where you suddenly cross over, pop champagne, and stop striving. It is a lifestyle. It is the culmination of every single small, seemingly insignificant, disciplined choice you make today. It is the expensive coffee you decided not to buy. It is the educational book you chose to read instead of mindlessly scrolling social media for 2 hours. It is that small portion of your paycheck you quietly and consistently invested while everyone else around you was out partying and buying liabilities. True freedom simply means that a lack of money no longer dictates your life's choices. You do. You have the ultimate power to control your time, to be present for the people you love, and to live this one life you've been given entirely on your own terms.
Which brings us to our final, lingering thought. The ball is entirely in your court now. Will you stay a prisoner to a single paycheck, waiting for circumstances, or a boss, or the economy to dictate the quality of your life? Or will you take your very first courageous step toward true financial freedom today? They say the greatest time to plant an oak tree was 20 years ago. But the second best time is right now, today, this very second. The decisions you make in the next 24 hours will echo for decades in your life and the lives of your family. So make them count. If today's story touched your heart and inspired you to become a better version of yourself, then come a part of the Voice of Victory family by subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who truly needs this message today. Remember, your Voice of Victory begins the moment you refuse to give up. I'll see you in the next inspiring journey, only on Voice of Victory.